While it's one of the hardest jobs on the planet, the love you have for your kids makes parenting worthwhile. But feel like your child-free friends can't empathize? There are some things you just won't get unless you've got kids. Books don't cut it. As a diligent parent, you probably read a ton of books to try and get ready for kids. But parent-teen relationship coach Fern Weiss says you learn more from actual experience. Weiss says that little person in front of you has her own personality, wants, and needs. No matter what you read in books or hear from friends, there is nothing one-size-fits-all about parenting.
Do what works for you and don't get on the internet, because you can Google anything and everybody has an opinion.
You are not your kids' mistakes. Kids may misbehave, but that doesn't mean you're a bad parent.
I don't think any parent wants to be responsible for a child that grows up to be an ass.
Weiss says it's easy for other people to judge your parenting style, but she affirms it's the most important, awesome, unpredictable, nerve-wracking, and rewarding job you'll ever have. The stakes are high. You're already hard enough on yourself as a parent. Kids make mistakes, they learn from them, and everyone moves forward. Your instincts override logic. While raising a kid is often a struggle, the bond that forms with your kids is there for a reason. Arisha Schaefer, former therapist and parenting coach, says, the parent instinct often overrides logic, and that can be a good thing. Sometimes our instincts keep our kids safe. Schaefer's advice for non-parents: trust your parent friends and their emotional intuition. They know what's best for their kids. You're beyond tired. Everyone knows that raising kids is extremely tiring, but Schaefer points out that even non-parents with extremely stressful jobs get at least some downtime.
When people now who don't have kids tell you that they're tired, you're like, seriously, you don't know what tired is.
Schaefer says, parenting is the one job that, regardless of what is needed, you must rise to the challenge. Being awake with a sick child for 72 hours straight, with little chance to even run to the bathroom or grab a bite, is demanding. And even more shocking to your child-free friends, you wouldn't give up those sleepless nights for anything. You learn to let go. If you're a control freak, parenting helps you let go a little, whether you want to or not. Jill Whitney, licensed marriage and family therapist, says you learn pretty fast that you can't make your kid eat their peas or go to sleep, and outsiders will never understand that frustration. Whitney says this lack of control makes you humble, adding, you're so much smarter and stronger than your child, but there's only so much you can control. Wise parents learn to work with their kids' style rather than fighting against it, and sometimes things just don't go the way you want. 24/7. Being a parent is all-consuming, and sometimes it means not going to parties or getting together with friends, something that may be difficult for people without kids to understand. Licensed psychologist Jessie D. Matthews explains, not only are you taking care of other human beings' every needs in addition to your own, but you have their schooling, social lives, and activities to tend to. This all takes up a lot of time. You have to be flexible. Because your kids take priority, you need to be very flexible, something your friends without kids may not fully get. Matthews shared, being a parent requires you to be flexible in ways that people without children don't have to be. For example, a parent might have to take a sick day or work from home to stay home with a sick child. Your work-life balance becomes a much greater struggle as well. Matthews adds that someone without kids may be able to keep work at work, while a parent might have to find spare moments to fit in those work hours, like evenings or weekends, if they can find the time at all. Fits happen. Has your kid ever thrown a tantrum in public? It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Whitney says tantrums aren't always a bad sign, as it's a normal way for kids to test their limits. But to all the judgy onlookers, she advised, the test of whether that frazzled, embarrassed parent is doing a good job isn't whether the kid has a tantrum, it's how she handles it.
Just relax. You're gonna be great, hopefully.
Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out this other cool stuff we know you'll love too.